Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name's Matt Drake. This is episode 215. I'm joined this evening by my co-host, Morgan Hardwell. Good evening, Morgan.
Cheers, Matt. How are you, brother?
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather. The family's been a bit sick. It's been a bit yuck, honestly. But we're soldiering through. We're getting through it, and we're just going to try and survive. You know, we're gonna try and get through. So if my voice starts to go or the throat starts to tickle during the evening, then my apologies.
You know what? It happens to the best of us, and I hope you do feel better really soon. But you know what? We are, as you say, going to get through the show. We're going to have a great night and a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
Indeed. We've got a great show tonight. First up, we're going to go through some hot scores from around the country, some new names, and some interesting play being going on. I think the weather has affected people's playing habits this week. Then we're going to have a look through a few of our traveling Kiwis. Okay, so we've got a few Kiwis who are out traveling the world over the next few weeks and have been traveling for a few weeks. So we've got Sarah Wadsworth and Alison Tweedy who are playing in the World Doubles Championships and World Juniors, and so we've got their itinerary. We're going to be going through where they're going to be playing and stuff because they leave next week. We're also going to have a look at Sebastian Faulkner as well, who's been, as you'll remember, has been in the States for some time now. He's played 2 events and he's got another one coming up this weekend. So we're going to have a look at how he's getting on. We've also, it's in the pipeline, but it obviously trying to sync up times is difficult. We're going to try and get an interview with Sebastian.
Yeah. Shout out to
as well.
Shout out to Seb out there on his wee side quest. I don't know if enough emphasis is put on like how bloody cool it is that he is actually out there doing it. The thing that we've talked about a number of players wanting to do for years now, players that are gonna.
What do you mean a number of players? Like any disc golfer, right? Would love to.
Yes, but I mean, you do hear it from people. You're like, okay, I want to go and tour. I'm going to get to 1,000 rated, such and such. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to America and I want to try and tour. A lot of people have said it. I have heard it numerous times. I've shrugged my shoulders at it numerous times. But Seb, and no offense to anyone that has said that, but Seb has pulled the trigger. He's out there. He's in his van traveling. He's touring. So he's doing it. He's doing the thing.
Living the dream.
He is.
Living the dream. We're also going to have a look at the Christchurch Club Clash Series, which occurred last weekend. Great idea that I'd like to talk to you about, Morgan. And it looks like it was a lot of fun as well. Producer Tom played in the event for the Disc Daddies. And there was also the Funds for Finland, which was a sanctioned event down in Christchurch on the Saturday as well. So we'll have a look at that. We're going to be previewing the Royal Rumble, which takes place in Auckland this Monday on King's birthday public holiday. And then we've got some big news for later on in the show. It's going to be exciting. We're really excited for it. It's going to be. I'm hoping it's going to be huge. We'll see. We'll see.
I reckon so.
Then
I
we,
reckon so.
I hope so. Then we've got. We'll round it off by playing a few games. We've got some Disc Golf Valley, and that should more or less round us out. How does that sound?
Sounds blooming good to me, mate. And I am very excited to get this little piece of news out to the world. So, let's not rush through all of these things we've got in front of us. But, guys, look forward to this wee announcement that we've got coming on the back end of the show.
It's a ball we want to get rolling.
100%.
And I think once it gets rolling, then we might be onto something. We'll see.
Yep.
Anyway, Morgan, hot scores. Take us through the south.
Hot scores, and we're going to head down to Queen's Park as we do every single week. And Mr. Henry Kane shoots a nice scorching hot 13 under par this week. Excuse me. Chingford Park sees Calvin Cummings at an 8 under par, and Aubrey Gray and Calvin Cummings both shoot a 5 down over at Brockville this week to hold the keys. Over to Flight Park, and Ben Quinn's made the voyage across the mountain tops into the Queenstown region from Wanaka, and he shoots a lovely 5 under par. Queenstown Gardens and Quinn Parry this week, Matt. Quinn Parry shoots a 9 under par to get the job done. I managed to get myself to the Gardens this week. Yeah, buddy. Did not shoot 9 down, so shout out to Quinn. Headed over into Wanaka, and we see at Lismore, Amon at 8 under par, and then over to Jelly Park up in Christchurch, where Timoti shoots an 11 under par. 8 under par for Josh Mason at Bottle Lake, and then we head to Warren Park, where Reed, Jamie, and Jade Scott all shoot an 11 under. KBG gets it done at Smallbone Reserve with a 15 down, and then Murray Holland with a 4 under at Queen's Park Reserve. We head on up to Taylor River, where Darian shoots a 9 under, and a 9 under is also going to be the hot score this week for Mr. Patrick Ludlow, getting it done at Branford Park. And that is your 9 down here in the south. Let's head up to the north, Matt. Matt, you're muted, and that was 13. Sorry, not 9. That was 13.
Apologies. That was entirely my fault. That wasn't producer Tom's fault for the first time. This was definitely my fault. But I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'll start in Wellington in the hills of Berhampore, and Young Ha goes round at a record 9 under par. Well done to him. Round Hikoikoi, Flavio Mayoga and Sergei Sanin tie for 3 under par. Andy Davies shoots a white hot 11 under par at Harcourt Park. That's an incredible score.
I like it.
Flaxmere sees Matt Stowell hit it for 5 under par, and at Spa Park Black, John Marshall registers a +8, which is only the only score of the week. So
shout out to Mr. Marshall.
So well done for getting out there. I'm assuming there must have been some inclement weather up in Topol. Richard around Santry Nursery shooting +7 was also the only person to shoot around this week at that course. Byron Salisbury shoots 8 down at Henderson. Zach Armour's 6 down at Woodhill. It takes him to the top of the leaderboard, as does the 7 under that Sam Hitchcock shot at Rosedale. So congratulations to everybody who made the hot scores this week.
There has been a little bit of inclement weather around parts of the country, right? We are going into that winter season. I did hear on the radio, and I don't remember where it was, but they said they had ice cube size hailstones coming down today.
Oh, wow.
Some are up in the north. Some are up in the north. So maybe around that Taupo region.
It could well be. I mean, the weather's been off and on, raining horrible here in Wellington. I mean, it's been real strange, actually. It's been, some days have been real nice, and then other days it's been, absolute, trash. And you just wanted to stay indoors.
Yeah, but, we've got a long weekend this weekend, Matt, going into the King's birthday. My wife has disappeared until Monday, and I've given myself this massive work list to do at home, and the weather looks crap the entire time. So,
really?
We'll see how we go.
That's a shame. I think the weather in the capital is actually supposed to be pretty nice, but it's a shame that the wife's gone away, and you can't just have the smoker on for the whole week.
Well, that's the whole plan.
A few beers.
I need to pull up my deck, put in some new supports, get a high ab the fire from the front of the house to the back. I need to get onto this, So I was hoping this was going to be the weekend. Still might be. We'll see. We might just get a little bit of wet around the ears, so it is what it is.
We'll see. Okay. Right. Well, some people who are hoping to escape the New Zealand weather in search for some warmer climes and some even hotter disc golf are Alison Tweedy and Sarah Wadsworth, who are heading over to the States next week. I think it's in 6 days' time. So I'm presuming Wednesday next week they leave.
Yep.
And if you want to follow like their itinerary, we've got Paul Wadsworth, Sarah's father, has set up this Polar Steps app. I didn't know this was a thing, Morgan, but
I've never
apparently
seen it, and
I think we can get it up on screen actually. If it's the link is in the chat.
And
We've
here
also
it
got it on
comes.
screen
Boom.
now. So you can track exactly where they are on any one day, so and where they're going to be going. So this is pretty cool, I think. Most of the stops are in this kind of, I don't know, how do you describe that area of America?
It's the Midwest. It's not even the Midwest. It's just Central America.
Central Midwest. I mean, because they're up in Chicago, that's not really Midwest. So yeah, I mean, I'm that. The distance, I've got no idea on distances. I mean, each stop is probably the length of New Zealand apart, but yeah, so they've got a great little trip going around, and there's obviously a lot of disc golf that's going to be played as well along the way. Not least the doubles World Doubles Championships, which are going to be played on the 12th of July. But before that, the first event they're actually playing in is an event called Wisco Disco 25, which is played in DeForest in Wisconsin, which isn't me trying to be cool. That's the name of the place. And then followed up by the US Women's Championships, and then the Junior World Championships a month later, in middle of July. So I mean,
that's a big old trip.
That's incredible.
That is a big old trip.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah. So that's going to be. I'm just checking if Alison's on for the same events. So yeah, Sarah's highest ranked in FO1. That's interesting because she's what, 10, 9, 10, and so yeah, I mean that there could be that's real cool. That's real cool. Alison heads out slightly later because she's playing Nottingley on June the 7th, but will make it out to Junior Worlds in July. So keep an eye on Polar Steps if you want to track Sarah's progress, and she'll be well acclimatized to the weather and the time zones and all that kind of stuff by the time Worlds comes along. One of our other traveling Kiwis, Sebastian Faulkner, he's been over in America. He's been over there for some time, eh? Now, when did he go over? Like, I want to say sort of February, March time.
No. Well, I mean, obviously we came back from Thailand, start of February there. And then he was back for a little bit. I think his first event was the start to middle of April out there at the FDGA Spring League. And so a couple good 2.5 months maybe out there now.
Played a couple of A-tiers since. The Cosmic Open at Maple Hill, that was actually won by Simon Lizotte, took out the win there. And the annual Capital of Texas Open, which was DGPT Q Series, which for anybody who's not quite sure, the Q Series is a series of events where you gain points in order to qualify for getting a tour card to be on the DGPT proper the following year. And so the higher up you finish, the more points you get, etc. And the more kind of events you get to you play, the more chance you've got of earning points. And he's got another 1, 2, 3, 4 Q Series events to play.
So does that really point to the fact that he is there for the long term, Matt?
Well, you would think so. Obviously, he can stay there because he's got an American passport. I think he was born there, so I mean, he can stay there as long as he likes. So visas and all that kind of stuff aren't going to be a problem. What's going to be interesting is how he sustains himself. How he pays for food and lodgings, and if you know, whatever,
Well,
fuel.
it's fuel. He's staying in his van, and obviously he'll be seeing some family along the way. But he's got a van, and he's road tripping the whole time. He's doing the tour van
It's
life.
just the dream life, isn't it? Do you know what? I did that for 4 days in you remember when I played on the same card as you at Heislander. Do you remember this a
Oh,
few years ago?
yes, yep.
I was a touring disc golfer for about a week, and I flew into Queenstown, picked up a van, lived in it for 4 days, drove down to Dunedin, played a tournament, drove back up to Queenstown again, stopped off in little places on the way. Great fun.
I just want to mention in chat, Craig Likens just said Sam is also going to Worlds.
Oh wow.
Mr. Sam Lycan.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So that is true. That is true. But I don't think he's leaving now. Is he? I think he's leaving probably closer to the time in July.
Have you got a wee, Craig? Have you got a wee short itinerary you can stick in the chat there that we can just mention, please? That'd be great. Thank you.
So yeah, so we wish Sebastian well playing in the DGA Star City Classic this weekend. He'll be up against Noah Meinsma, Paul Oman, are probably two names that are recognised the most out of for New Zealanders, and then a bunch of players who are all in that kind of well, look, there's what I think is great about the exposure that Sebastian's going to get is when he plays in New Zealand, he's often the second or third highest rated person at least in the field, right? Yep. So and that you can, because being 960 rated, there aren't many players who in New Zealand at least are rated higher.
It definitely gives you a different look on the layout of the land when you're not at the front of the pack, I suppose.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, just taking a quick look at it, how many people are rated higher than 960? There's a handful, right? There's a handful of players. Let's just change that to this, and then it will do it just once.
Sam Lycan is leaving on the 8th of July and competing on the 12th, by the way, guys. Just want to put that out there quickly.
So there are 20 players, including Sebastian, who are rated 960 or above. And actually, that would be a good pop quiz. Actually, can you name all 20? It's not easy. Not easy.
No.
It's not easy. Maybe another day. That would take too long. But anyway, so there's 20 players in New Zealand who are 960 rated or above. Sebastian's going to be playing in all of these DGPT Q series events. There's 3 or 4 times that playing in every single event. I mean, there's 320 players playing in that event that he's playing in. Sorry about that. There's 320 players playing in the Star City Classic, spread over a few divisions, but there's 69 in MPO and 57 in MA1. Even the highest rated player in MA1 is 976. So, I mean, it's going to be, I mean, to get that experience where he's doesn't matter how well he plays, he's always going to have that that element of competition, right? And playing on a card with decent players. If he has a rubbish round, it's not going to be like that. He's going to be on a card of people who he wouldn't normally be on, and he can play his own game. He's always going to be in that kind of pressure melting pot, which I think is fantastic and really is experience that anyone would need in order to push the game forward. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, good luck to Seb. Good luck to Seb. We're stoked you're out there, and we're all following along and supporting my friend.
Absolutely. Now, a bit closer to home, we had a couple of events which occurred last weekend. We'll start off with the Funds for Finland event, which took place on the Saturday just gone. And this was a sanctioned event, raising money for Michelle Simpson and Francis Orange to head over to Worlds a little bit later on this year. And in MPO, Sam Cole takes out the win by 11 shots. Impressive there from Sam over Raina Pai. In MA1, Bailey Gardner took out the win by a single shot over Jake Michael, and Sam Page in MA40 was pretty commanding there. Gregor Brosnan, probably no surprise, took out the win in MA50, and Simon McKay wins by a single shot in MA2. Alex Dench wins the heads up in MA3. So well done to everybody who played there.
I believe, Matt, that I think I heard through the grapevine that they raised $1,500 towards
cool.
towards Finland. I could be wrong, but I feel like I have a pretty reliable source on that.
Cool.
So yeah.
Well, look, given that, I mean, I flew to the UK last year, and UK is not too far from Finland, and certainly in terms of getting there, it's going to be similar flight times and probably similar flight costs. $1,500 will go some way. You probably save a little bit yourself. You've got this event and a bunch of other things. Yeah, absolutely. So well done to everybody who played and
big ups
and donated there. There's another event later on in the year, in a few weeks' time, down in Dunedin, which is where Francis is based. That's on June the 22nd. So in what, 3 weeks' time, 3 or 4 weeks' time. So head over to that if you're in the Dunedin area. That's being played at Brockville. Now, the other event that took place over the weekend, just gone on the Sunday, was the Christchurch Club Clash series. Now, Morgan.
Yes.
Did you see this? I
did. They had 90-something players.
This was fantastic, right? And I love this idea. I love this idea of you get a team of you get a group of your mates, you call yourself a name, and you go and you say, right, we're us, and we're going to beat you, and because there's like 10 of you, it's not like super high pressure to that you don't feel like you're necessarily letting the team down if you get a bogey on a single hole, and you're in a group where you can have some good banter and support each other along the way. So I think it's fantastic. Certainly, if there's anybody in Wellington who was thinking this is a great idea, then the old farts would be well up for something like this, and no doubt would kick everybody's ass who dared stand in our way. Let's have a look at some of the results that that came in over the weekend.
I see you've got that there. That's exactly what I was just looking for on my screen. And there it is.
Bros for Change. Obviously we know a lot of the guys in Bros for Change. They're leading the way at the moment over the Disc Daddies, producer Tom and others in the Disc Daddies, and then Chain Gang in third place as well. Going all the way down. So
shout out the Trench Cannons. That is a great name.
Trench Cannons.
That's up there. I don't even know the angle they're coming from, but I like it.
Lovely.
And shout out to the guys down in 8th place there, the back nine. I know all of those fellas, and really great group of guys. So yeah. Front nine is the same people. Seems like it's cheating though, doesn't it?
so yeah, look, I love this idea. I think this is great for someone like Christchurch. It could work even if you had smaller teams. I think the teams were 10, right? Producer Tom, minimum of 6, but it could go up to. It looks like most teams were sort of in that kind of 8 to 12 kind of size. And so I think that's a lot of fun. And if there's someone in Wellington who's going, that looks like it's good and looks like we can port it across, then please do, because I'm sure that the old farts would be well up for it, and I would certainly get out a little bit more. And if I knew I could rep the old farts in an event like that,
as long as you've got that on a shirt, old farts.
We do have shirts with it on. Yeah.
You do? Yes. Oh, I love it.
Yes.
Is it? Hang on. Question: is it PH fart?
PH fart? No. It's FARTS.
Okay, just checking.
It's the way you spell it. But fortunately, we have one of the old farts is none other than the Wellington Dynamo Kath Headley, and she's got access to all the screen printing kit that you need, all the crafty kind of stuff. And so, you give you a shirt and she irons it on or does something to it and gives it back to you with a thing on. So yeah, so that's good. Right. Now there's a few events coming up. There's the Royal Rumble. Now we are going to go do tipping for the Royal Rumble, but I've been quite busy with some other things and so not got to it, but I will get to it, and given that it's on Monday, you got the whole weekend to put your tips in, so plenty of time. Over the weekend, everybody will also get a 500 coin stipend as well, so don't forget, if you are out of dollar, then you simply need to wait for the 1st of June to roll around, which I think is which is Sunday, and then you'll be able to your wallet will be refreshed and you'll be able to go back in and blow it all on the winner of Royal Rumble this weekend. So let's have a look at the so no odds for this, but let's just have a look at the people competing. In MA1, a lot of these are going to be Auckland peeps. So we've got Josh Pratt, who's the highest rated player in the MA1 field, and
odds of 1.8 on Josh.
Is that the okay? Yeah, that's probably
the official prediction.
Probably not too far away, honestly. He will be the favourite by some way, I suspect. Luke Humphries will be thereabouts, but it will be Josh Pratt will be the favourite. Looking to MA40, Joe Seebeck, but Levi Gojak's been on a little bit of a rich vein of form recently. And I also Roger Olbra won Makaripi in MA40, so we need to keep half an eye on him as well. Laura Backer and Edwina Mandisodza go head to head in FA40, which looks like it's going to be an incredible battle between the two ladies. Again, Laura Backer took out second place at Makaripi most recently, but we are, Edwina played in FA50, but is competing in MA40 this time. In MA50, Chris Kingsnorth is the highest rated player over Andy Brewster. And in MA2, Matthew Huang looks to be the favourite there. And then MA3, who knows what goes on in MA3? It's anyone's game once you get there. So we will be keeping an eye on this event at the weekend. Still places available, I think. So if you want to get involved, then there's head over to Disc Golf Scene, and the registration is still open. It closes on the 1st of June on Sunday at 6 o'clock. So get involved. It's being played at the Orchard. And Morgan,
yes,
because don't look this up, because don't look it up. How much does it cost to play the Royal Rumble this Monday?
What are we? It's $70.
$20.
Good. Love it.
$20. $20 gets you entry, and you're going to play 2 rounds over the weekend, being played on King's birthday, and you got tags going on. Is lunch provided? That's incredible for lunch. You can pay $20 just for lunch. That's very well done. So yeah, tip the cap to Ryan, who's organising this, and the rest of the Auckland Disc Golf Club. Keeping an event like that at $20 is awesome. Now, on the subject of events, we've got some news, Morgan, that we want to share with the group and that we want to talk about now.
Yeah.
Go on.
I just want to start this off. I've just been sort of thinking about this for the last couple of minutes. You might have seen my eyes wandering across the screen.
I have,
Not really looking at anything, just trying to figure out how we can sort of get this across, right?
Yeah.
Because guys, we've had this little bit of a plan going on in the background for a little while now. Matt and I have both been really busy as of late, and we've been trying to come up with ways to put this all together and how we get it across to the people. So when we bring this to you now, just understand that there's still a lot of parts that need to move, that need to fall into place. And this is really just the beginning of what we're trying to bring to you, the people across the nation.
This is it.
So Matt, I'll leave you with that.
This is it. But let me talk about how this kind of came about. Now, Morgan, in the past, you've run a lot of events, and you've actually there was one event in particular. I won't mention which one, because it's not really one. That's sort of an inspiration for this. And there's events that I've run in the past which have also been a bit of an inspiration for this. Okay. What we wanted to do is, we've often kind of joked and laughed a little bit about the Sweet Chain Open, and wouldn't it be great if we put together a Sweet Chain Open, and it would be fantastic. And no doubt it would. We would have your experience and of organizing tournaments. We'd have the reach of the podcast to be able to kind of advertise it and build up and whatever. But the issue is that we would either have to play it in Wellington or Queenstown, most likely would be where it would happen. And the issue with both of those things is that it's very difficult for people to get to those kind of tournaments. And also, Wellington and Queenstown are already kind of not full of tournaments, but like all of the courses in those areas that would normally host a big tournament already host a big tournament, right? You've already got the Tucker Beach Rush and the Flight Park Open and the Queenstown Classic. You've already got Fault Line Fury and Middle Earth Open and the one in Trentham as well, which will be a thing. So what we're going to so what we thought we want to do is we still want to organize something big.
Really big.
Really big.
Really big.
We want to organize the largest disc golf event in New Zealand history. So
the largest sanctioned disc golf day.
That's right. New Zealand. So we want to organize a series of events around the country that bring together people to their local town or wherever they happen to be, and try and get as many people as we possibly can playing sanctioned disc golf on the same day, starting at the same time, playing the same number of holes as we can on the same day in New Zealand. Right now, the record for the most number of people who have played disc golf in one day is 250 something, which was at Nationals, I think, just gone. We want to try and beat that, and we think we can. We've got a couple of locations already earmarked, and a couple of we've reached out to a few people and got some agreement in some places. But we want to organize the largest disc golf event in New Zealand disc golf history.
I love it. I love it.
And have people up and down the country, whether it's in Auckland, whether it's in Hawke's Bay, whether it's in Inglewood, whether it's in Taupo, in Wellington, in Nelson, in Blenheim, in Christchurch, in Invercargill, Dunedin, Waimate, Queenstown, Greymouth, anywhere, right? Anywhere where we can get an event, everybody coming together and playing in the same event. It will be the same event, but in just different locations, right? So each event will be its own event, but will fall under the umbrella of a larger thing. Now, you've done something similar to this in the past, right?
I have. And the Paul Macbeth Foundation fundraiser. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you wanted to say that or not, but that is what it was. What you're referring to.
It was, and that was held in 2022, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
2022. I organised the Wellington one, the Wellington leg of that event, and it was great fun.
We had 9 locations across the country that day running. Had a couple hundred people playing across the country. I think the sport has again obviously grown since then. I think we have more TDs now that have the ability to be able to run these tournaments, and I genuinely think we could have 10 to 15 events across the country for this, Matt. Guys, if you're one of these people that thinks you could run a tournament or even want to try it for the first time, this is a great opportunity because it's going to be a one-day event, most likely 2 rounds of 18 holes. If you've got a 9-hole course, you modify it to do 4 rounds of 9, or, you do 2 laps. Reach out to us because obviously You guys all know us. We don't. You know us through the show. We do not know everyone across the country. Unfortunately, we'd like to say we think so. We think we do, but we don't. So please reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. As Matt said, it can be in any township across the country.
Yeah.
Somewhere like Greymouth, where there's such a smaller population, at least disc golf wise. If you had 10 people playing in a tournament, that's 10 people that are going to count towards this overall goal of having the largest event across the country and the largest amount of players we've ever had playing in the country. So let's all band together and get this one done, Matt.
So if you want to be part of the largest disc golf event in New Zealand history, then get in touch. There's a few things that we've decided on. Okay, I think we've more or less settled on December the 13th.
Yes.
As the date that we're going to go for. Okay.
Yep.
Now we've spoken to NZDG. We've spoken to tournament directors who might consider running tournaments on that day. I can think of one in particular who I spoke to earlier today, who confirmed that it's not going to clash with their event. And December the 13th is the day that we're looking at. Saturday, December the 13th.
Yep.
It will be a one-day event. Okay. This is we're trying to hit grassroots here. It's going to be 2 rounds of 18. Okay. There'll be a lunch break in the middle, but whether you provide lunch or not will be at the tournament director's discretion. And if you're a new tournament director, you might be thinking, I'd like to give this a go, but actually I've never done something like this before. Actually, an event like this is a great way to introduce yourself to the tournament directing scene, because you're going to have a whole bunch of other people doing exactly the same thing as you, just in other parts of the country, who you can bounce ideas off, you can ask advice from, you can get help and support from, as well as that'll probably be one that we have. I mean, largely you have.
I was going to say that's probably going to be almost my role within this, other than helping run the entire thing. Is I want to be there, be present for any tournament director that wants any help. I'm going to be trying to get someone else in my local area to run the tournament, whether it be Adam or one of the other guys from our community. I just want to be sort of in the background and helping everyone else do their bit to make this all get across the line and make sure it all just runs smoothly. And I tell you what, it is, at the end of the day, a one-day tournament is so easy to run, guys. It's especially these cheaper ones. We want you to run these as cheap as you can.
That's it.
But it's totally up to you how you want to run them. It just has to come under those really basic specifications. 2 rounds of 18.
2 rounds of 18.
About it.
And we want to run it in different parts of the country, so it's easy to get to. It's easy for people who maybe don't play a whole heap of tournaments to be able to play. You don't need to go away or pay accommodation or travel far. It's going to be something that's going to be close to where you are, so hopefully maximizing the number of players who can play and bring everybody together. Now I'm hoping that we're going to hook up some contacts and perhaps even get some customized plastic along for this event as well, which will be exclusive to this event. We're looking at keeping the costs for the players as low as possible, but again, that'll be at TD discretion, and we'll try and work with tournament directors to try and keep the costs as consistent as we can across the country and as low as we can across the country. And we think that with an event like this, if we can bulk use some of the things like, for example, getting custom discs made, actually that can be done a whole lot cheaper if you order 12 tournaments worth than you can be if you're just doing it for one event, right? So there are certain economies of scale that we can maybe tap into,
lean into.
So if you're someone who might be interested in running an event like this, please get in touch. As I said, we've reached out to a few people already. There's a few more people who we need to speak to, and yeah, look out for more events, more event info, I should say, as the year goes on. But mark the day for your calendar now, December the 13th. Make sure that you leave it free for an event near your hometown. So yeah.
And there it is, folks. That's our big news for the night. Now I'm excited to have that one out there. How are you feeling now that that's out in the open?
Yeah, look, I think it's a ball rolling. It's the kind of thing that you just got to push it, right? You just got to get it going. You got to get it going, and it'll run under its own steam. There's a lot of work for me and you and producer Tom to do, to coordinate things, and run the particular event. You'll be doing the one down in Queenstown. I'll be doing the one up in Wellington. Producer Tom will be assisting out with the one in Christchurch, most likely. So, I mean, somewhere like Christchurch could arguably run two events in Christchurch, East Christchurch and West Christchurch, perhaps on the same day, and maximize the number of people who can make it. Right, if you've got an 18-hole jelly park and an 18-hole, I don't know, Bottle Lake, then you can host twice as many people. And
they
so
sure as heck have the numbers.
That's the idea. That's the idea. So look, more on this to come. If you're keen to get involved, then hit us up, because we'd love to hear from you. We'll also be reaching out to some of the local people as well. All right. Excellent. Excuse me, Morgan. Do you want to take us into Distal while I just quickly take a drink?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Every week we know that we love to go to Distal. We try not to make a fool of ourselves, especially me. I do find it hard from time to time, but you know what? We come back week after week. We chug along, and this week I would love to go with none other than, let's see, what's on the back wall around here?
What have we got?
Let's go with a Heat, please.
Heat.
Just craft
Very
Heat.
Nice. Don't mind the heat, eh?
Bit flippy for me.
Perfect for me.
Which is very ironic considering I throw a Daedalus.
There we go. So we've got a Speed 9. It's a Speed 9. It's a non-disc craft. It's more stable, less glidey. Speed 9. Firebird's a Speed 9. Lock it in.
Lock it in, Eddie.
Bing. So it's an Innova, Speed 9. Go on, Morgan.
Right. Can I go with a? Geez, I don't know if a T-Bird 3 is a 9 or a 10, but I'll try the T-Bird 3, please.
Okay, T-Bird 3.
I think it might be no, T-Bird's like a 7-speed. T-Bird 3 is faster. Yes, please.
T-Bird 3, there it is.
I think it's like a.
Okay, so it's an 8. So, but we got the fade right. So it's a 2. And it's glide 4.
Oh, it's an 8. Oh.
Is a Sidewinder a 9?
It could be, could well be, yeah, and that's pretty close to those numbers. When you said it, I thought that might be about right, but I didn't want to change my decision.
Okay. So it's more stable than a 1, but it's a 2 at the end. So sorry, I thought Sidewinder was a. So what's the similar to a Sidewinder but not a Sidewinder, like this, that kind of flippy driver that they've got? We're looking at a 9.4.
I'm trying to think of the newer molds from Innova. Chat. Anyone got any help in the chat with the newer molds of the Innova? What's
9?
Isn't it a fairway driver?
9.4 minus
1.2
1.2 is what we're looking for. I think 9.4 minus 1.2 or minus 2.2.
What disc is that? Sorry,
is that a 9?
Yeah. Geez, I just had a Roadrunner come up in one of my memories today too. Look, you know what? Let's lock it in. It's a minus.
Valkyrie, says
minus
Craig.
2.
Valkyrie.
I go Roadrunner, then go
Roadrunner's less, more stable, more.
Yeah. Right, lock in Valkyrie for Mr. Craig and Mr. LG.
Sharp. Well done, chaps. Oh no,
Thank you, team.
It wasn't.
No,
it was a Viking. There we are. That shows how well we are. It begins with a V.
So a Viking's old school.
That's OG.
I don't think that is. I think that's an OG disc, not a new one.
It does. You're right. It is more west sidey, but no. An Innova Viking. Who throws a Viking? Anyone? Anyone in chat throw a Viking?
Probably if it's old school, someone like a Hemi Tiafitu.
Quite possibly. Right. Let's have a look at Disc Golf Valley then. The code has been above Morgan's head for the whole time. Not sure if you've noticed. but I'm quite happy that I didn't come last. Dane saving my ass with a +23. Thank you so much. The Butler on +4. Producer Tom 2 under, Bailey 3 under, taking the win for the weekend for this week. So well done to Bailey.
Bosh, well done.
Okay, there's been no change to the power rankings since last week, so they remain the same. We're going to be having the tipping for the Royal Rumble will be going up on the website over the weekend, so keep an eye on that. Please don't forget that if you have enjoyed the show, please consider giving us a like and a subscribe. Hitting the subscribe button really does help us out. It makes a massive difference to the old algorithms. You've heard it. You've heard it all before, but it's because it's true. So yeah, give us a subscribe down below. And yeah, so the Royal Rumble this weekend is being played on King's birthday. Enjoy your King's birthday weekend,
Mr.
Hopefully, you'll be able to get out and yeah.
I just have some breaking news coming across my desk. Forgot to put my hand down then.
Okay.
I have just heard that Ms. Sarah Wadsworth will be on the Breakfast TV show tomorrow morning.
There we go. Breakfast TV.
Check that one out, guys.
There it is. Is that what channel is that? Is only one channel? Is that on one? Is it?
God, I wish I watched more TV so I could give you an answer, but I'm a straight Netflixer, eh?
Breakfast TV tomorrow morning. So yeah, get a cup of tea and a bit of toast and settle down and watch some disc golf on terrestrial TV. Indeed. That's it for us for this week. All the very best if you're playing in the Royal Rumble up in Auckland on Monday and wherever you're playing disc golf. Take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.